We are continuing. New cycle that we start.
189. Thank you.
We are now in the second part, which is the Hilchos Deis. It's about character. Chapter 3. So, says Rambam, a person might say, since envy, desire, and pursuit of honor and the like are a wrong path and drive a person from the world, I shall separate from them to the very great degree and move away from them to the opposite extreme. For example, I will not eat meat, nor drink wine, nor get married, nor live in a pleasant home, nor wear fine clothing, but rather wear sackcloth and coarse wool and the like, just like the pagan priests do. Right? In other words, I got to get out of this world. This too is a bad path, for it's forbidden to walk upon it. Whoever follows this path is called a sinner, as implied the statement concerning a Nazarite, and he, the priest, shall make an atonement for him, for his having sinned regarding his soul. Our sages declared, if a Nazarite who abstained only from wine requires atonement, how much more so does one who abstains from everything requires atonement, right? So it's a wrong path. Therefore, our sages directed man to abstain only from those things that Torah denies him, and not to forbid himself permitted things by vows and oaths of abstention. Thus, our sages stated, are not those things which the Torah has prohibited sufficient for you that you must forbid additional things to yourself? Now, of course, if you have a challenge with something and you need to make a fence around in order to guard yourself from something, so that's a different story, right? That's a different issue. This general statement also refers to those who fast constantly. They are not following a good path, for our sages have forbidden a man to mortify himself by fasting. Of all of the above and their like, Solomon directed, King Solomon, and said, do not be overly righteous and not be overly clever. Why make yourself desolate? Okay, halacha number 2. A person should direct his heart and the totality of his behavior to one goal, becoming aware of God, blessed be he. The way he rests, rises, and speaks should all be directed to this end. For example, when involved in business dealings or while working for a wage, he should not think solely of gathering money. Rather, he should do these things so that he will be able to obtain that which his body needs: food, drink, a home, and a wife. Similarly, when he eats, drinks, and engages in intimate relations, he should not intend to do these things solely for the pleasure, to the point that he will eat, drink only that which is sweet to the palate and engage in intercourse for pleasure. Rather, he should take care to eat and drink only in order to be healthy of body and limb. Therefore, he should not eat all that the palate desires, like a dog or a donkey. Rather, he should eat what is beneficial for the body, be it bitter or sweet. Conversely, he should not eat which is harmful to the body, even though it is sweet to the palate. For example, a person with a warm constitution should not eat meat or honey, nor drink wine, as King Solomon has stated in a parable, that eating of much honey is not good. One should not drink endive juice, even though it is bitter, for then he will be eating and drinking for medicinal reasons only, in order to become healthy and be whole. For a man cannot exist without eating and drinking. Similarly, he should not engage in relations and intercourse except to keep his body healthy and to preserve the human race. Therefore, he should not engage in intercourse whenever he feels desire, but when he knows that he requires a seminal emission for medical reasons or in order to preserve the human race. It's interesting that he doesn't say over here in other places, because here he's speaking about the individual and not for the sake of, a husband has a responsibility of the three things that it says in the ksuba, right? As to house, feed, and clothe and conjugal rights. So there's also that, but that he doesn't mention. The reason I think he doesn't mention it here because it's not in the context of what is for the person. That's an intent that you have or an obligation you have towards a man has towards his spouse. That's a different category. That's not about character quality, right? So in other words, you know, fulfilling what your obligation is, which also comes out of a sense, not doing it for your desire, but doing it out of obligation, right? Okay. Number three, a person who accustoms himself to live by the rules of medicine does not follow a proper path. If his sole intention is that the entire body and limbs be healthy and that he have children who will do his work and toil for him. Rather, he should have the intent that his body be whole and strong in order for his inner soul to be upright so that it will be able to know God. For it is impossible to understand and become knowledgeable in the wisdoms when we are starving or sick, and when one of his limbs pains him. Similarly, one should intend to have a son with a hope that perhaps he will be wise and great man in Israel. In other words, now if you look in the culture of those who are from 1,000 years ago, and there is still in the Middle East, you'll have that. Why do they have sons? So it's to serve them, right? They're to serve them. So he says that's not good, right? What should it be? You have someone who could be a scholar, right, and do good things. Those whoever walks in such a path, all his days will be serving God constantly, even in the midst of his business dealings, even during intercourse, for his intent and all these matters to fulfill his needs so that the body will be whole to serve God. So all those things are in order that you can be whole in body, so that way you can serve God in soul. Even when he sleeps, if he retires to the intention that his mind and body rest, lest he take ill and be unable to serve God because he is sick, then his sleep is the service of the omnipresent, blessed be he. So even sleep can be done for the sake of God. On this matter, our sages have directed and said, and all your deeds should be for the sake of heaven. This is what Solomon declared in his wisdom. Know him in all of your ways, and he will straighten your paths.
All of your deeds.
Okay, we're going to do just a little bit of this next chapter. Since maintaining a healthy and sound body is among the ways of God, for one cannot understand or have any knowledge of the Creator if he is ill. Therefore, he must avoid that which harms the body and accustom himself to that which is healthful and helps his body to become stronger. They are as follows. A person should never eat unless he is hungry, nor drink unless thirsty. Today they say just drink all the time water. No, you shouldn't actually. Actually, interesting. I saw a couple of podcasts on it and saying that it's not a good idea just to drink, to keep your body hydrated, at all times. No, drink when you're thirsty. Drink water when you're thirsty. And that's what the Rambam says. They're just coming around to that. You know. Um, yeah, he should never put off relieving himself, even for an instant. You have to relieve yourself. Rather, when he feels the need to urinate or move his bowels, he should do so immediately. One should not eat until his stomach is full. Rather, should stop when he has eaten to close to 3/4 of full satiation. One should drink only a small amount of water during the meal and mix it with wine. When the food begins to be digested in his intestines, he may drink what is necessary. However, he should not drink much water even when the food has been digested. One should not eat until he has checked himself thoroughly and that he does not need to relieve himself. One should not eat until he has checked himself thoroughly and until he does not relieve himself. He should not eat until he has taken a stroll, which is sufficient to raise his body temperature. Alternatively, he should work or exert himself in some other way. The rule is that he should engage his body and exert himself in a sweating producing task each morning. Afterwards, he should rest slightly until he regains composure, and then he should eat. If he were to bathe in hot water after exerting himself, it would be beneficial. Afterwards, he should wait a short while and eat. Okay. I'm going to stop over here. Yeah. I'm going to stop here and we will continue. Thank you.
Thank you.